Okay, so talking about QQQ here, yesterday we talked about whether this is a corrective leg, with three waves down, which means that, we had one, two, or three, or ABC basically. So we got those three legs, which we were looking at, one more low came as well to complete these as five waves. Now, whether this is like an impulse down overall, that will be clear once we are, able to see the next formation, the next leg formation, right? The next leg formation means that we are looking at converting this from A, B, C to a one, two, three, four, and five, right? So typically, if you remember, the wave 4 retracement is about 38% to 50%. And if I just look from the lows that we made just now, 38% comes right at 485.77, which was today's high as well, right? So now that's gonna be our point to understand what's happening next. If we are heading into 485.75 and we get kind of restricted here, we chop and move there, we'll have to get out of the queues, the calls that we are holding. Probably they shouldn't be at BE or close. We bought them at around 487 and we have been averaging on every dip, right? So we probably get out of the calls if 485.75 starts rejecting, and then we just go short on that for the next leg down, and the next leg down will get us to 473, right? So that will give us the complete five waves down. Any other tech stock, whatever is remaining, maybe in Nvidia or maybe somewhere else, I'll review all those charts later on again when I'm making the post. But we'll get all the lows in those mag 7 stocks once we get 473 in QQQ, right? So don't load up everything right now. We have to see that we are able to get above this 38%, make a higher high or not, right? If we are not able to even make a higher high, right, the chances of making a higher low is very less, of course, right? And 38% is the right place to make this as a fourth wave count, and then we are looking at one more drop next week. Next week, or maybe early next week, let's just say, right? By Monday or so, and then we can go long because then the bounce is gonna be something which will close this gap. Let's just measure how much our 50 to 60% retracement comes out to be for the whole drop. Um, right here is 61%, which is 491, and 78%, which will close the gap completely, 496, right? So we will again go long, but we'll go long at around 473 if this happens, right? So our calls are of August, right? But we don't want to kind of spend too much time in the next leg down and get killed by the theta, and then we have 510, which is a new high, as an OTM, so that will lose a lot more value than been beneficial. So let 485.75 be our target. Let's just see what happens over there, and from there on, decide if there is another leg down or not, right? And again, like I said, 473 is where we want to go along again for something like this, basically move like this, right? So that's what is gonna be our play for QQQ, and just want to make sure that you guys know this. SPX is still, I'm kind of reviewing and understanding what's going on here. Uh, Now there are no five legs here yet, at least, right? So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind, and kind of see that we have A, B, and right now we're in a C. So my target for SPX below 5576 was that we can do 5520, basically this area, right? Another big area, or 5500 if it has to go and touch somewhere here, 5505, right? So will QQQ make five legs where SPX does something different, right? So that's something which we still have to watch for. That, okay, like I explained, that QQQ may go to 7, then come back to 473. Let's see if SPX does something like, testing 5573, come back once more down again, right? And then we will be able to, get long. If you want to do SPY, then we'll be able to get long on 5520 or 5505, something like that, right? So still in the works. Let's kind of follow and see, what happens in the next few hours, how we close. Does it keep, does it break the lows or keep going down? That would be like really, really bad, if this continues in any way. But there is a good divergence, which has formed up here on 30 minutes as well, which pretty much says that the momentum is slowed down, right? So we do want to see this next wave formation here before we kind of get to a point to make a decision that okay, now we are getting 5 waves down. So once we have this 5 waves down, we are looking at another lower high here, right? And now what does it mean after that? After that is something again, once we close these gaps and we go short again, we don't know yet if it's gonna be like a big drop or another equal leg of ABC. That's possible, which means we get back down to somewhere here in this area, which is 460, right? And if I measure what in this is something which is called a zigzag correction, right? Some of you already know. And if not, you can of course refer back to the education video on LA waves. So we'll be looking at something like, at least 100% retracement could be 466. Closing this gap on QQQ or maybe a little lower to come down to this particular demand area, right? So we'll see what happens there. That's a kind of story maybe for the next month to say. I think next 12 days can simply be spent in this or even further, right? While the earnings is going on. So we're gonna have this up and down move during the earnings, and anything, if there is a drop, that will be potentially after that. So that's a kind of pullback we are looking at. What it means in the overall and the long term. Are we going to drop any further, make a 161 percent move? We'll see about that. We don't really have to worry about that. But if we get these 5 waves, like I said, the only long we are going to take is here. After that, it's going to be short every pop, right? So that's going to be our plan for, let me Raj, okay, let me server meet. Okay. So yeah, so that's what the plan is. Any questions on this? No? All good? Pretty easy? All right. Cool. Well, that was all what I wanted to share. If there are any questions, let me know on the chat and I'll post this recording too. Thank you.